Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel, Lay on Keys. If you're new to my channel, feel free to subscribe. So in this video, we're gonna go over a topic called passing chords. Now, if you're not familiar with passing chords, it's basically a tool mostly heard in gospel music, but you can also hear it in R&B and things like that. It's basically a tool to embellish music and kind of give it like a pulse, if so to speak. It just kind of livens the music a little bit. So instead of playing, for example, chords just straight, they're kind of like a way to, I guess, transition to other chords in a chord progression, if that makes sense. So in this video, we'll use the example of Amazing Grace, which you guys should be familiar with since I just went over that one in the last video. If you missed that video, feel free to check that one out. But without further ado, here we go. So, if you remember in the last video, this was the melody for Amazing Grace, so I'll just go over that real quick. Okay, so that's Amazing Grace in its most simplest form. Now, when we introduced the concept of passing chords, the great thing about improvisation is that there's so many different variations. But so here's one variation, probably like, I guess a simple variation. So let's say we're playing the first measure, well, from the first measure, right? So okay, so instead of keeping the 1 on the second measure, we're actually moving down to a B flat major. Okay, and notice like on the third measure, so the root note, which I will say is pretty much the note that is the furthest down on the bass line, or the first note you play on the bass line, I'll say that. Notice that the root goes down to A, but we're still going to a 4. And remember, if you remember this, with the F on top, it's just an inversion of an F major chord, right? So that's one way. So and then you can choose to invert back down to a F and then go to a C. Okay, and then now let's say we keep going on with that the rest of the song. So instead of just keeping it at a C, we move to a D. So the number 2. Now for the last part, when we go to 6, instead of keeping the keep it on the 6, for example, you can actually move the 6 down to a G and then to an F sharp. So this is what it sounds like. So and this actually, if you can recognize it, is just the inverted chord of D major. But then you can go back to the G and then back to a 1. Okay, so yeah, that's one way to use inversion. That's probably one of the simpler ways to do it actually. But yeah, you'll notice that inversion, like passing chords, really is just you mostly use inversion sometimes. So like it might just be, for example, going into another way to play it. Let's say we're playing the beginning. See, so you see how like we're kind of walking up to an E, but it's the same chord as that chord, it's just inverted. So that's another way to use passing chords. It's a little bit more trickier because you're moving your fingers a little bit faster, but think of it as if like you're trying to mirror the melody on the right hand, but you're just using different notes on the left hand. So think of it that way. But yeah, so yeah, but continuing on that. So that's another way. Remember how like the first way I showed was so when we go to this part of the song, another way to play that is just and just go to D minor. Doesn't really matter which chord you use, honestly, between those two, but those two seem to work with that. And we go to the other part of the song. So you can choose to keep the 1 for this. But say you're playing like, you know, the second verse, which is the same exact melody, right? But you just want to spice it up a little bit. Maybe this is the time you could play the 6. So kind of like how I showed it in the first attempt, right? So you're walking down from an A down to a G and then down to an F sharp, which is just the inverted form of a D major chord. So let me play that again. And even here, we can also add, if we're trying to be dramatic, so you're just walking up from a G, okay, and then okay, so you're walking up from a C, and then a D, and back to a C. Okay. So again, we're doing the walking down from an A, G to the F sharp. And then you can go back down, back up to the G. Another variation of that ending is you can walk down and instead of going up to a G, you can go down to an F. Okay, so yeah, that's like 2 different variations, and of course you can intermingle those. You don't have to play it exactly the way those are played, but I'll just play them again straight, just so you guys can listen to it in totality. So here's the first variation. And here's the second variation. Oops, sorry. Okay, so yeah, those are 2 different variations. And notice I also threw a couple other notes in there. Basically, with passing chords, you're trying to just like create movement in the left hand, pretty much. Like for example, if you're trying to go to the C major, like you're just trying to like walk down to the chord you're trying to approach. You know what I mean? If that makes sense. So yeah, that might be a little bit confusing, but no worries. Like I said, feel free to watch the video as much as possible just to, you know, be familiar with it. I'll definitely introduce this again when I teach other songs and stuff like that. But yeah, so yeah, I'll do a little activity where I'll play the melody and then you guys can go ahead and play left hand. Okay? So here we go. All right, so that's it for the activity. So I hope you guys were able to play along with the activity. But if you didn't get it yet, that's totally fine. It just takes practice. I'm sure you'll get there. But anyway, yeah, I hope you guys learned something and enjoy this video. Once again, if you have any questions or comments, feel free to leave it in the comments section below. Also, if you have any suggestions of which songs you want me to teach or other lessons you would like to learn, feel free to leave that as well. But anyway, yeah, I hope to see you guys in the next video. So yeah, until next time, bye.